Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom for Path to Nowhere. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I figured I'd jump right in here. Just get into kind of checking things. Since I was a few minutes late, I didn't actually check things before I started for today, so I'm going to go show you what I do for that, I suppose. Typically, I just go look at the areas that I did before. I look at them pretty closely for a couple of minutes. And then I decide what I want to fix. And I do see a few spots right around here. And similarly, right through here. Not surprising, because that highlight is, I think, noticeable and finicky. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, and I think I see a couple of spots that I want to fix over here too. Kind of same area, really. So I'll take another good look around there, but let's start with what I want to fix here right now. And then I'll go work on the hair over here. I think it'll be a nice break from doing side hair. Side hair tends to be a little bit of a nightmare. Okay. So let me kind of scrutinize what I see here. But the nice thing about coming back to all this after not looking at it for a day is that I tend to notice problems very quickly, and I can just... How do I describe it? Basically, I just look at it, I focus on the area that I was working on the day before, but I don't, like, really squint or look too hard. I just see if there's anything that comes to my sight right away. And if there is, that's what I jump into. And if there isn't, sometimes I'll look a little bit harder, sometimes I won't. Because typically, if it's looking relatively okay, nothing immediately jumps out at me after having not looked at it for a day, that's generally a sign that things are pretty alright. And I don't need to worry so much about it. But I gotta say, when I was rigging my own model here, that being able to work on it in small bursts, like, I'd work on it for 5 minutes, go play with my kids for a while, then come back to it, just the next chance I got a chance to sit down, work on it some more, and continue like that, just in short little bursts like that, was honestly really nice, and I kind of miss being able to do that with the format that I'm doing now, with all of it being done on stream, live. Because I can't really do that. I can't just say, you know what, I have 5 minutes to sit down, I'm gonna go ahead and look at this thing and see what I can fix. Because that was really, really useful, and I do miss it. Being live has its own advantages, though, so I think it's a worthy trade-off. But I never realized just how much I took advantage of that for not even just rigging, but for lots of things that I do. Sometimes it's nice to have little breaks between working on things. And sometimes it's nice to treat working on things like a little break. I can tell you, back before I had kids and I was working full-time, I treated art like that too. Would just do some work, then come back and work on something else for a little while, one of my various personal projects, and then go back to doing actual work. Worked well for me. Also realizing I'm not quite satisfied with this loop. I want the top of it to peek out just a little bit more. Just a tiny bit. As always, when I go to fix one thing, I found something else to look at too. It's just kind of how it goes. Oh yeah, here's hoping I can finish off this hair today too, and just have this entire side of her head totally finished. That'd be pretty sweet. See how late I want to go. But with a late start, I wouldn't be surprised if I could go a little bit later than usual, since it would be the same length of time as usual. So we'll see. Okay, and I also see a little thing right here. I'm not quite sure what that is, so I'm gonna go consult the mesh and see what it has to say. Let's see here. What is making you so odd? It's like that's the spot that was odd, but that vertex wasn't in the right place, so hopefully that helps a little bit. It's always so hard lighting all these things up. It just feels like the vertices never actually want to cooperate with me. Gotta wrangle them into place. It does feel a little bit like herding cats sometimes. Oh man, I'm gonna be so happy once I don't have to touch this area anymore. It's like, I know I call the one over here that's covered up the strand from hell this guy. But this guy certainly isn't easy either. Just got a mind of its own. Alright. I think we're good. So now I can go look up here a bit. I did see something up there. Let me remind myself where it was. Yeah, just like right there. A little bit around that pinkish area and a little bit above it. I want the pinkish area to be just a tad higher, and then want to adjust the shape of the area just above it. That was what I saw. Nice and simple, and hopefully now that I'm looking over here, I don't see anything else. Nope, that was not it. Okay, yeah, that seems pretty good. I think that's all I needed to do. Then, I thought I saw a quick thing over here, too. Let's take a look. Yeah, just a tiny little wrinkle up top here. Just a tiny little spot. Hopefully won't take any time at all to fix up. Fingers crossed. Because this strand is like that sometimes. Okay, yep, that seems better. And I'll do one last check up here. Still feel like this area is being a little bit stretched. Let's see if I can do something about that. I think I can get a lot of it just by pulling things back over here. Okay. And as always, I actually do see a couple of more things here. I think that last movement I did at the bottom there was wrong. So I'll go put it back. And then I see that the highlight here is not lined up on the side quite right. So it's this half of the highlight that wasn't lined up quite properly. So I'll go fix them while I'm over here. Just do all the last bits of correction here. Close, but not quite. Okay, seems good. So, when it comes to the hair over here, it's completely hidden at this angle. So I probably will come back and maybe fix this strand, because he shows a little bit. But I'm going to be mainly focusing on the right turns here. The only thing I'm looking at for the left turns is, when I move to the left, is the hair underneath here. It's has some spots before it gets completely covered up, where you can kind of see it. So, between my two keyframes, does it move nicely? So there it does. Oh my. Yeah, this strand. I don't actually have it connecting to the right spot here. It does here. Okay, so I'm gonna go hide my side hair here, just all of it. And I'm gonna work on properly attaching that strand here, because, oh my. Oh my. I have no other words. Mistakes were made, but it's okay. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay, I think I'm actually just going to straight up start over there. So that'll be you. You are hair side main. hair, side main, loop. Yes. Okay, so we're just gonna start over. I do want it to go up a little bit. So let's pull some of this up just a tad. I'm even just gonna do it manually because I don't want it to be very strong. And I'm gonna properly connect it without the side hair showing because I think that's what threw me off before. That's okay, this is why I check these things. Because sometimes I do get an idea in my head and it doesn't work out, or I just misunderstand something. As I believe is the case here. Such things do happen. But because I went back over everything, I was able to catch the problem, and now I can fix it and make everything look nice again. Yeah, I'll correct all that when I get over there. Okay, I think this is probably okay. And then once again down here, this angle is not quite as off, so I don't think I'm just gonna restart the whole thing. I'm just gonna raise some of this up here a little bit and properly connect it up here where it should. And now I just gotta look at the top and just make sure it's all connecting here properly. So I think it kind of needs to sit like right there. Alright, and then I will consult the mesh for the rest of it to work out all of the little wrinkles and whatnot. Yeah, there we go. It's always pretty easy to see how these strands should be when I just look at the mesh. But not always easy to get them where they need to be. It's like I can do a bit of trial and error just by moving a few things, check the mesh, and then go back and rinse repeat. But it takes a little bit. But it's alright. I got plenty of time. Just focus on getting everything just the way I want it to be. Okay, that's probably fine. So let's go ahead and turn her side hair back on and see how it all looks. Okay, looks like this is sticking out just a little bit. So I think what I actually need to do, I think what must have happened the first time, since these strands are very similar in color, is that I moved it upwards, when really it just needed to move a little bit to the right. Yeah. That's much better. So much better. And I see that there's a little bit of hair poking through here, and I don't think there should be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out of the way here. We're not gonna see any of this. It's gonna be swept thoroughly under the rug. And I'll make sure that nothing like that is happening on my other angles too. So this area should be totally hidden. And I actually think that I want to do that with this strand too, where I just kind of let it dip behind the rest of her hair. And I'll worry about lining up the bottom a little bit later. Does that still look okay? Yeah, I think so. Basically, I want to line up this bottom piece with the hair that goes over her shoulder. I don't think there's any point in doing it sooner, because most of it is covered up here, if not all of it. Okay, no, we actually do see most of it. Okay, I will do it right now then. It's okay, this is why I check these things. I'll go ahead and just line all that up now. No problem. Alright, let me make sure that there's no hair peeking out through here where it shouldn't be. Just casually hide this all over here. And I'll do the same up here, just to be thorough. Okay, and that should be fine. Let me make sure that it looks good over here. Oh, it actually kind of doesn't. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some work there too. Bald spot, assemble. Okay. So what I don't think looks good here is that I'm completely hiding the dark shadow that goes through there, and thus it moves over a bit more than it should. So let's go ahead and bring the dark shadow back over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going to stress about lining this all up properly. I just want to get enough that it doesn't look funny while her head is turning. And I think just pulling all of this stuff out will be more than enough. Just let some of that dark shadow be visible. I don't even mind if it's a tad wrinkly. Okay, let's try it like that. Yeah, that looks much nicer. I think I want a little bit more to show down here. I guess I will actually hide my side hair then, just so I can see kind of what I'm doing. But there's like a little pink sliver that exists here, and I want a little bit more of it to show. Yes, much like this. That is exactly what I wanted. Okay, and that is good. So now I guess I'll worry about this strand. Most of the time I do all 4 of these directions first, but since this area was completely covered on the left turns, I figured, you know what? Let's just do it now. So now I guess I'll take a look at this little strand coming out here. Make sure it looks nice while it turns. Yeah, I think I want it to move just a tad to the right. And I don't really care about whether it's crunchy or whatever. It's like, this is fine. Just enough to kind of put things in the right place and have it move with the rest of the hair while her head turns. That's all I really care about here. Okay. And I think in order to line some of that up, I do need to have this strand, because I have to know where it connects. Because it kind of connects into this part of the hair, and I want to make sure that it is in a good spot there. That's why my initial thought was to do it later, but nah, this is fine. I can do it now. It'll be nice to just have this part of her hair totally done. Okay, I'm gonna hide the side bang for a second and consult the mesh in order to properly get this all straightened out, because I feel like there's a couple of spots that are just kinda moving around like they shouldn't be. But it is mostly fine. Give myself a nice easy task after dealing with all those very difficult strands for the past week or so. Feels good, honestly. It's nice to have a break occasionally. I do think I needed it. Although maybe that shouldn't be past tense. I do think I need it. Oh, no, it does kind of curve in. Okay. I didn't notice just how much it really curved in here, so I had it kind of flowing together with the strand in front of it. But that is actually not right. It actually does look like this. Okay, and I think that's good. So I'll go ahead and turn that off, and this on. And I don't really care about the bottom, it's going to be covered up. Okay, so now I just have to do that with these other turns. I guess before I do the corners, I will do my up and down though. So let's take a look at the hair here, because I was just noticing that there were some spots that were just a tad squirmier than I would like. We're probably gonna have to be hiding a few strands here and there while I sort out some of these things. Only parts of this I feel like I have to get clean though, because a lot of it is going to be covered up. But the fact that I am hiding the strands means that I notice some stuff going on underneath them. So that tells me that I should care a little bit about what's going on here. Otherwise, I would not have felt the need to hide those strands. And I will just carefully line things up here. So what I was seeing here was just that there's like a dark line through here, almost looks like a Y to me, the letter Y. And it was moving a bit funkily. You can see it still kind of is. So that's the area that I'm looking at. I'm trying to get it to move a little bit more evenly with everything else. If you look closely, the very top of this highlight is moving a little bit to the left when I move her head up. So I'm gonna go move that a little bit to the right. And I think that this level is fine. Do I want to fix down here? Right through here. Because if you look at that, it's not quite lining up perfectly. Yeah, I think I do, just because it is affecting that shadow over there as well. I am asking myself the question a little bit more often. Does this actually matter? Do I care? Will this actually make the movement look better in a noticeable, impactful way? Is it worth some of the time that I'm spending on it? A lot of the times I do think it's worth, but I am trying to very explicitly ask myself that question more often, just so that I can actually finally finish her hair. It has been a long time. And I got some other stuff I want to do too. Alright, let's do the same thing for the downward turn. It's not terrible, but there are a couple of places that I think could be a little bit better. The right turn, I think I will do all of the right turns at once, so that means the right turn and its two corners. Just because I think a lot of their stuff is going to move together. And I would like to finish off the left turns just because they're going to be so straightforward and easy, because it is basically completely covered up by the side hair. Like, there's none of it showing. Absolutely none. So it is literally just making sure that while it's moving, that the area between the keyframes looks good. Like, that is all I care about. So while a lot of the times I will do the 4 cardinal directions first, today I just don't really see the point. I want to knock out all those left turns right away. It'll make me feel good about myself. And man, do I need a little bit of feeling good about myself after the last week. Because, oh boy! Oh boy, working on that strand that is now hidden and causing a funny bald spot. Oh, that was pretty hard. It was difficult and it drove me slightly crazy. Only slightly. And I am just glad to be done with it. And so I am also glad to have some nice low-hanging fruit here. Okay, and I don't think I care about the bottom part. Only from... You know, maybe I should just put that layer on, and I think it's... this one. Yeah, I don't think any of the other ones cover it up. So I will have those on just for a second, just so I can make sure that I'm only putting my efforts into something that will actually matter. Some of this will be covered up, but I do want to be able to put physics on the hair, so that means that the bangs will be moving around a little bit. They might even move around a little bit more than this part of the hair does, so I want to be somewhat prepared for that, but like these strands, they're not going to move very much. So I can trust them a little bit more. Trust them to just always be in that position. So this is just me preparing for the future a little bit. Because I still think about physics a lot. I really do. Just all the time. I do look forward to finally being able to implement it, but it does look like I am going to have to do the body turns first, since I decided I wanted to do her over-the-shoulder hair at the same time as the body turns. Just because currently I'm not really satisfied with how it looks, but it's going to be hard to be satisfied with how it looks until I know how her shoulders move. Or maybe I'm just coping a bit and I'm like, I want to stop working on the hair and do something else for a little while. But I don't think so. Otherwise, I'd stop working on the hair right now and just go right to the body turns or do some eye physics or something else. There were a lot more problems with this bottom turn, so I'm kind of glad that I decided to visit it here. Visit it here before I really dug into the corners. There's a lot of little color changes here, so I do want to make sure that they are all lined up nicely. Okay, now I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the strand. I'm not entirely sure if this part right here is correct, but do I want to do the strand now? Here, let's hide it for a second. Let me check that shape there. Yeah, I think it does actually need to be a tad lower. I was gonna say that, you know, I kind of want to get this strand right first. I think it'll help me see, but then I was like, would it really help? Or would having this right make it easier to move the strand? And I determined in my head, yes, having this all lined up correctly would in fact make it easier to line up the strand. So I'm gonna do it like that. Now that makes more sense to me. Hello there, Yedgy Kitty. Okay. Let's see how that is. Is that any better there? Right here, still kind of sticking out. So I will go ahead and push that in just a little bit here. And try to shape this outer part a little bit more nicely. Yeah, no problem. Just drop by whenever you can. No need to apologize. No need to stress about not being able to be here all the time. Okay, now that that looks better, I can worry about some of these outer little strands here. This little kind of brownish color, I think is what I'm gonna do next. Alright, that seems pretty good. So now I'm gonna do the gray one. Let me see, how should that gray one happen? Honestly, the shape of this gray strand may also help me determine what the outer shape of her hair here should look like too, since they are connected. That spot is proving to be a little bit difficult to shape, though. But I think... not quite. It's like right there, so maybe I should consult the mesh here. There aren't too many vertices around here, and oh boy. Okay, so basically it looks like what happened here is that I made the mesh very uneven through here. So that would explain why I'm having a little bit of trouble getting some things where they need to go. It's okay, this is exactly the kind of thing mesh consultation is for. It can give me a better idea of where I need to put some of these things. Okay, yep, that's much closer. Still got the very top that feels off, though. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see what I can do. Okay, this seems okay. So now I can turn this back on. Although, you know what? No, before I turn that back on, I want to check the top. I want to check the top turn too. Yeah, top turn has a couple of little spots that could use a little bit of attention as well. Just like right up here. And there's still just a little thing right over here. With this little guy right there. I still find stuff in this area a little bit difficult to move. But it doesn't have to move that much, so I think I'll be okay. Still, worth keeping in mind for the future, though. Things will probably move a little bit more than I might expect them to, and having control is nice. But also, do not flood the world with vertices, you will cry later, if you do. These are the things that I'm telling myself. Try to do the minimum number of dots that let you do the kind of movement that you want. Which also makes me wonder if I should even be doing all my meshing right at the beginning, or if I should do it just as I want to move things, thinking about how I want it to move. I don't know. These might be things to try. So basically, I have a lot of things that I can try once I'm ready to do my next rig. So hopefully, 0.9 will come out sometime this year. Or maybe I'll just get impatient and won't wait until 0.9 after all. I don't know. I know my nature. Eventually, I'm just gonna want to make something again, and I am hoping that the new version of Inochi2D will be ready for me by that point. Here I was wanting to do the left turns for this area because I knew that they'd be super easy, and I'd just get sucked into a rabbit hole about my up and down turns. But that's okay, I think they need to be done for this too. This is the same area that I've been wanting to touch here and touch up, just in a place where it's a little bit more visible, so it makes sense that I'd probably get a little bit sucked in. It's fine. But it does mean that by the time I finish all of this, I should be quite happy with how this strand looks. Okay, that seems pretty alright, so I'm gonna go and start doing the strand now. Let's see here, I'll do the up first. No particular reason other than I just kind of feel like it. Seems mostly okay in terms of location, but it's definitely needs a bit of mesh consultation to actually get this to look nice, I think. I can tell that I moved it with the brush. Everything got slid down something fierce. And also simultaneously slid up. Fascinating. Art is weird. Always keeps me on my toes. So many little things that I just don't expect, and yet here it is. Where I somehow simultaneously managed to move the vertices up and down at the same time. Still not even sure how that works. It is not even parsing in my head, but it is what I am observing, so here we are. Fortunately, this mesh has been very easy to read, so I should just be able to slide everything where it needs to go, and call that good. Let's see how this looks. See if it's getting rid of all the problems that I saw. Okay, there's a part that I want to change right through here just a tad, but it's going to be a small one. There's just like the tiniest of lumps right there. And I want to bring the tiniest of lumps back in to this strand. Let me double check its location. Yeah, like right on the highlight. And with that, I think that'll kind of give her hair some of that wavy volume and feeling that the original had. Just by keeping that little lump there. Yeah. I think that's good. Could probably touch up the top a little bit more, but frankly, I think this is fine. Most of it's going to be covered up, so I don't want to stress about it too hard. I just want to get it good enough. I think that's a good way to put it. Had to think about it for a second, but no, good enough is a good standard for what I'm doing right now. These are not the super important parts by the face. These are not places that are going to be swinging around with physics. This is just some stuff that makes her hair look a little bit nicer. I'm just trying to get the general gist of the shape here, and then I'm going to go in and consult the mesh like I did on the top turn. See, right now it still feels like it's being a little bit stretched over there, and that's just no good at all. Want to move the shadow down a bit, and then I'll worry about consulting the mesh once I am happy with the location of that shadow. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, let's consult the mesh. Make sure I have everything kind of in place where it belongs. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. The bottom spot, definitely a lot of squirming, but that's okay. I haven't done that spot yet. Let's see, this is where the mesh makes it very easy to see just how much it's squirming. I mean, it didn't look too bad when I had it zoomed out. I could tell that there was something I needed to fix, but look how clear it is when I have it like this. Look at those triangles go. They're just getting huge. So that is the kind of thing that I look for. That is what consulting the mesh does for me. It just makes these things so much clearer than they otherwise would be. And I don't care so much about what's underneath that hair there. So I think I can leave that, and let me see how this looks. If this is good enough. Yeah, I think so. Let's go turn her hair back on. And not those. I actually want to go and hide... Well, no, I guess I should be keeping these guys on for a little bit, since I'm using them to kind of help me see where the lower boundary of this area is. Alright, seems good. Let me check my corners again. I think I still need to do this strand on both corners, but everything else is checking out. Okay, and I guess on this corner I have a little bit of the bottom showing. Oh, I do here too. So, alright, let's start straightening out some corners here. Once again, I do think I will hide my side hair there, just so I can see a little bit more clearly. It's like, unlike the top parts of this bottom part show. So I will line them up properly. And then as I fix things kind of over here in the spot that's partially, like, covering and right up next to the cheek, gotta be careful that I keep all of that roughly the same. Because I got that looking, like, perfect when I was working on those side bangs. And I don't want to mess with it too much. Not gonna worry about things over there too strongly, just enough that I can indeed make her hair swing around as I please. Make the physics look however I want them to without having to worry about, are they gonna show something on these layers underneath here that will just look terrible. And I think just not having to worry about it is worth a little bit of extra effort now. Might need to consult the mesh a little bit for this edge again as well. We'll see. I'm just gonna try to do it with my eyes for now. Just because I feel like when I go and consult the mesh, sometimes I get a little bit too lost in details that don't necessarily matter. I mean, that's the entire reason I consult the mesh sometimes. Just there's something that's not right, so I gotta go really look at the details. And get that going. And while I'm here, I realize that I'm not entirely happy with this, so I will go adjust that slightly too. All these things work together. Ultimately, their fates are all connected. Okay, I wouldn't exactly say a lot of that is right, but I think it's okay. I might adjust it a little more firmly. We shall see. But I definitely do want to get the outer shape of her hair good. I would definitely want that to be matching up. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. And from what I learned while doing my up and down turns, I think that actually focusing on the shape of these two strands will get me the shape of her outer hair. So that is what I shall do. I shall focus on those two strands, and it's a little bit easier to see them, at least for me, than it is just kind of the negative space around her hair. And I have to remember that I left everything fairly crunchy on my right turn there, so they probably won't match up perfectly. And that's fine. Just gotta go for the gist of it. Kind of nice being able to be a little bit messy for once. I'll go back to being super precise and neat once I go back to the right turns, but for now, most of this is covered, so I don't really have to worry about it. With as much precision as I've been having to do for the past little while, it's nice to have a little bit of a break. Okay. So obviously, not as precise as I've been getting it, but is this good enough? No, I should definitely shape these guys a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, the outer edge I care a little bit more about, because if the outer edge is squirming while there's physics happening, it's gonna make everything look really wrong. Things are more noticeable. The position of some of this stuff on the outer edge fairly static. It'll make it look less weird once physics come in and are not necessarily covering everything up. So I do want to pay attention to that. Just don't want any weird movement to be happening. Okay, now I just need to kind of fan out this edge here And I think that should cover it. There just needs to be a little bit more space between the edge and that little gray line that I've been working on. So I'll follow that change all the way up. Make everything look a little bit smoother through there. And I think this is fine. So let's go ahead and turn the side hair back on and take a look. Make sure that there's nothing obviously wrong here. Okay, so since these parts are showing, I actually will make them look a little bit nicer. So first, let's smooth them out in my left turn. Just make this look a tad more smooth. I'm not going to worry about anything underneath. All that matters is that this strand is smooth. Perfect. Okay. And now I can have it match on my upward and downward turns. And once again, I will not care about anything underneath. All that matters is getting the areas that are visible here nice and smooth. Especially with this strand, because this strand I know is not going to be moving very much. I don't want to make it super flippy with physics like I do this little guy over here. I'm gonna consult the mesh here because there's something slightly wrong, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Okay, it is literally just that the vertices got a little bit bunched up through here. So I'll go stretch them all out just a little here. And see if that fixes the problems that I was seeing. They're still a little bunched up. Oh yeah, that seems fine. I will want to correct a little bit underneath them, I think, but first I want to finish lining up all of the things here. That will all give me good clues for where many of these things should be. Alright, and now I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to do that before I go into turning off the bangs, checking things one more time, and then going and doing that little strand that comes out there. First thing first, I definitely want the parts that are visible on these angles to be nice. And down here is still just a little bit tricky to move. So it's taken me a couple of tries to get some of these spots just right. But I think this is probably fine. So let's go ahead and check things without these strands on, just to make sure that I didn't totally mess up some of my edges here. But that seems fine. And so now I can do this guy. I'm actually wondering if I can just get away with unsetting it. What are you called? Hair side main strand. Ah, you are already unset. Okay. So in that case, I will have to make some changes here. It's not quite in the right spot. And parts of it are a little bit crunchy, like right through here. Alright, and then I think I will consult the mesh and straighten out the last few things. Strands are just easier since they are basically entirely detail here. So they are just easier to do in mesh view. And besides, this area is going to be a little bit harder to do with my eyes because I didn't really bother to get everything else around it super neat and clean. It's going to be super messy underneath that side bang. But I think it'll be okay. Much like with my model, I don't plan to do, like, super bouncy physics or anything. Just give it a nice swoosh. See? Nice little swoosh. I really do like how the hair on my model moves. I'm very happy with it. Just a pleasant little swoosh. I kind of wanted to make the hair on my model look really unnatural. So I gave it a little bit more of almost kind of a floaty physics that looks a little bit heavy, almost. I don't know quite how to describe it, but yes, I wanted it to look very floaty. The physics here are going to look a little bit less floaty. That's the plan, anyway. We'll see what happens when I get there. I'm just so excited for them, because physics are just so much fun to play with. And then once they're on, you could just swoosh your head around and everything just looks so much more lively. It's wonderful. It makes me so happy. Okay, let's see how this looks. It'll look a little weird, but... Okay, seems good. Now I'll go do the same with this one. And I think this will be the last thing I do today. I will start on the right turns for the hair over here tomorrow. But oh man, having the entire left side of her head done will be quite the milestone. So I am looking forward to tomorrow already. I might also do a little bit of impromptu streaming later today, just to see if I can't get my multi-chat working. I worked on it a little bit last weekend, but couldn't quite get things to look the way I wanted, so I was gonna try again today. Weekends are a very convenient time for that, because my kids go hang out with their grandpa, so I have lots of time to myself. And it was also tend to be when I get a bunch of my drawing done. But right now I'm working on stream stuff instead of art. I was actually having some trouble deciding what I wanted to draw next. I had some ideas, but none of them were really grabbing me. So I figured I'd work on some other stuff in the meantime, but I think I have an idea that I would like to do now. Alright, so I'm back in mesh consultation, so that this way I can start cleaning this up a bit and get the vertices a little bit more evenly spaced. But I think that is the last thing I will have to do for this strand, because it is looking pretty good, I think. This I'm just hoping will help me work out the last few kinks. Alright, let's see how this looks. And let's turn the hair back on. Yeah, I think that is fine. Okay, and tomorrow I will do the right turns, and that'll be it for this entire side of her head. And then I just have over here another side hair, which always tend to be a little bit hard, and the strand from hell. So I'm scared. I am very scared. But it's okay. Tomorrow should be a good day, because I'll just finish up everything over here. Before I go into very scary stuff, and at least on the right side, I only have this part. The strand from hell only shows just a little bit right there. Huzzah. Okay. But yeah, I think we're good over here. I think over here is looking very nice. I'm debating on whether or not I want to get this part of her hair before the shoulders, but I don't think I do. Yeah, I think I will get this with the rest of her over the shoulder hair, even though it kind of goes up there too. But I think it'll just be easier on me. But for now, this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.